Dr. R. Hemavati is an assistant professor in mathematics in Queen Mary's, Chennai. She has specialized on functional analysis. Having 12 years of experience in teaching, she has won various awards for her performance. She has published papers in 14 international journals, 3 national journals, and has presented papers in 10 international and in 5 national conferences. She is also one of the editors for an international journal.
Welcome to UGC lecture series. In the previous session, we discussed about curve fitting, that is fitting a straight line and fitting non-linear curves like parabolic, exponential and power curves by the method of least squares, wherein we have approximated the function, minimized the error function, and then we have found out the normal equations. In approximating the functions has been little further be advanced, and in this session we are going to study about linear approximation of functions, and thereby we will be obtaining the orthogonal polynomials, and then we will be also studying Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization process, and from that we will be deriving the Chebyshev polynomials. First of all, we shall study this linear weighted least square approximation. That is, the error function is given a weightage as weights w of x. The method of least squares is the most commonly used systematic procedures to fit a unique curve that was discussed in the previous session through given data points, which may be in tabular form of known explicitly over a given interval. Okay. Let the given function be f of x is equal to c naught pi naught of x plus c1 phi 1 of x plus etc. plus cn phi n of x, where phi naught of x, phi 1 of x etc. up to phi n of x are n plus 1 appropriately chosen linearly independent functions, and the coefficients c0, c1, c2 etc. up to cn are n plus 1 parameters to be determined. So, the error of approximation ek at the value x equal to xk is of the variable xk is defined as ek is equal to f of xk minus c naught phi naught of xk plus c1 phi 1 of xk plus etc. cn phi n of xk. Okay. The best approximation in the least square sense is defined as that for the constants c0, c1 etc. up to cn are so determined that the aggregate w of x into e square over a given domain D is minimum. Okay. In the method of least square, we have found out that E is equal to summation of function and straight line or whatever the given equation whole square was made minimum. Here it is given a weightage as w of x into e square for a given domain D is minimum. So, wherein we can find out the normal equations to these values by applying the principle of least squares. So, we shall discuss this example of approximating a polynomial function in the interval 0, 1 using the least squares method with weightage w of x is equal to 1. So, obtain a linear polynomial approximation to the function f of x equal to x cube on the interval 0, 1 using the least square approximation with the w of x equal to 1. So, consider the polynomial approximation first of all. Consider the polynomial approximation linear polynomial. Linear polynomial approximation as p of x is equal to a naught plus a1 x, where a naught and a1 are arbitrary parameters. We have a u of a naught comma a1 is equal to sum of squares of the errors sum of the squares of the errors. What is that mentioned? That is actually according to the formula, it is equal to the given function f of x minus the polynomial function the whole square into w of x, okay, over the integral 0 to 1 dx. It is u of a naught comma a1. Okay. Here w of x is given to be equal to 1 and f of x is given to be equal to x cube, and p of x we have taken as a naught plus a1 x. Just substitute all these things, then u of a naught comma a1 becomes, that is sum of the squares becomes integral 0 to 1 x cube minus a naught plus a1 x the whole square into 1 dx. Okay. Just expanding this, we get integral 0 to 1 x power 6 minus 2 a naught x cube plus a1 x power 4 plus a naught square plus 2 a naught a1 x plus a1 x square dx. After integrating and substituting the limits, we will get 1 by 7 minus 2 into a naught by 4 plus a1 by 5 plus a naught square plus a naught a1 plus a1 square by 3. This has to be minimum. Okay, and this will be minimum when dou u by dou a naught is equal to 0 and dou u by dou a1 is equal to 0, and correspondingly we should have dou square u by dou a naught square is greater than 0 and dou square u by dou a1 square should be greater than 0. Okay. Now, this u of a naught comma a1, a function in terms of a naught and a1, is going to be differentiated partially with respect to a naught first and equated to 0, and then it is going to be differentiated with respect to a1 and then it will be equated to 0, and find out the a naught and a1 values. So, dou u by dou a naught is equal to 0 implies minus 1 by 2 plus 2 a naught plus a1 is equal to 0, and dou u by dou a1 is equal to 0 gives you minus 2 by 5 plus a naught plus 2 by 3 a1 is equal to 0. We have to solve these two equations for a naught and a1, and we get a naught is equal to minus 1 by 5 and a1 is equal to 9 by 10. So that a linear polynomial approximation, the function x cube is linearly approximated as a naught plus a1 x. Now, a naught and a1 we have found out, that has to be substituted. So, linear polynomial approximation for f of x equal to x cube is p of x is equal to a naught plus a1 x, and a naught is minus 1 by 5 plus 9 by 10 x. So, that is p of x equals to 9x minus 2 by 10, and the minimum value comes to be equal to minimum of the least squares comes to be equal to minimum of u naught. After substituting this a naught and a1 values in u of a naught comma a1, we get u of a naught comma a1 is 9 divided by 700. Okay. So, this is the polynomial approximation 9x minus 2 divided by 10 for f of x equal to x cube. Then orthogonal polynomials. Before we define the orthogonal polynomials, we need two more terms, that is inner product and then norm is defined like this, and norm is defined as in this notation. Okay. First of all, let us take a function f belonging to C of a comma b. C of a comma b is set of all continuous functions defined on a comma b. So, if f belongs to C of a comma b, we would say that f is defined on a comma b to the range space, range. If it is a real valued function, the range will be real numbers. If it is a complex valued function, the range will be complex numbers. So, first of all, what is meant by inner product? Inner product is the one which satisfies the following conditions. Okay, that is first condition is f comma f is always greater than or equal to 0, and f comma f equals to 0 implies and implied by only if f is equal to 0. This is the first condition to be satisfied for a function to be in inner product. And then alpha f comma g is equal to alpha into f comma g. And third is triangle inequality f plus g comma h is equal to f comma h plus g comma h. Also this particular part also has another another alternative, that is f comma g plus h can also be written as f comma g plus f comma h. Okay. And then fourth is symmetric property, f comma g is equal to g comma f, symmetricity, that is f comma g is equal to g comma f bar conjugate. And if any function f satisfies these four conditions, and if it belongs to the particular set C of a comma b, then we say that C of a comma b is an inner product space. And then next, norm, a set X is said to be a normed linear space, if it has a function called norm which satisfies the following conditions, that is norm x is always greater than or equal to 0, and norm x equals to 0 implies and implied by x equals to 0. Second condition is norm of alpha x is equal to modulus of alpha into norm x, and third condition is triangle inequality, norm of x plus y is less than or equal to norm x plus norm y. Okay. Then x along with this norm is called a normed linear space. Similarly here, set x, space x, vector space x along with this inner product is called inner product space. Okay. So where does the orthogonal polynomials appear in the context of inner product and norm? Okay, we have to relate the norm and inner product as norm f is equal to root of inner product f comma f. Okay, and it is called second norm, that is its usual definition, norm f is equal to square root of inner product of, this is the relation between norm and inner product. Now we enter into the definition of orthogonal polynomials. We say that f and g are said to be orthogonal if its inner product f comma g is equal to 0. Okay, and it is said to be orthonormal if you have norm f is equal to 1, norm f2 is equal to 1. Okay, that is when you take inner product of f with another function, then it becomes 0, and when you take inner product of the function with the same function, then it is equal to 1, then such type of polynomials are called orthogonal polynomials. Based on this, we have this famous process called Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization process, wherein any two polynomials can be made orthogonal by this process called Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization process. The theorem goes like Gram-Schmidt theorem. There exists a sequence of polynomials phi n of x n greater than or equal to 0 with degree of phi n is equal to n for all n, and inner product phi n comma phi m is equal to 0. It is called orthogonal polynomials. Phi n comma phi m is equal to 0 for all n not equal to m, n comma m greater than or equal to 0. And in addition, we can construct the sequence with additional properties, that is phi n comma phi n is equal to 1 for all n, and the coefficient of x power n in phi n of x is positive. With these additional properties, the sequence phi n is unique. Okay, we have to construct this process quickly we shall construct and this process is called Gram-Smith process. First of all, you take phi naught of x. Phi naught of x is equal to c and the c is the constant, and pick this phi naught, in such a way that phi naught comma phi naught is equal to 1, that is norm of phi naught square is equal to 1, norm for second norm phi naught is equal to 1, that is inner product phi naught comma phi naught is defined as integral a to b phi naught of x square w of x dx, and phi naught of phi naught comma phi naught inner product is taken to be equal to 1 and phi naught of x square is taken to be equal to c. Therefore, integral a to b c square w of x dx, and c square is a constant, comes outside and goes to the other side, 1 by c square integral a to b w of x dx. Therefore, c is equal to integral a to b w of x dx whole power minus 1 by 2. Okay. And this is how a phi naught of x is constructed. Okay. Next you construct phi 1 of x. Phi 1 of x, to construct phi n of x, begin with psi 1 of x. Psi 1 of x is equal to x plus a 1 comma 0 phi naught of x. Then psi 1 comma phi naught inner product is equal to 0 implies because of psi 1 has phi 1 and phi 1 comma phi naught is 0 according to the Gram-Smith statement, isn't it? Phi n comma phi m is 0 when n is not equal to m. So, and this gives you psi 1 comma phi naught is 0 in the sense psi 1 is what is psi 1? X plus a 1 comma 0 phi naught of x. Phi naught of x is simply written as phi naught for clarity. Phi naught means it is phi naught of x only, comma phi naught equals to 0. This implies x comma phi naught plus a 1 comma 0, it is just a constant, a 1 comma 0 is just a constant, phi naught comma phi naught equals to 0, and this implies x comma phi naught plus a 1 comma 0 into 1 equals to 0, and we have a 1 comma 0 is equal to minus x comma phi naught. Okay. And minus x comma phi naught according to the definition, it is according to the inner product definition minus of integral a to x, x into phi naught of x into w of x dx. Okay. But what is our phi naught? According to the equation 1, phi naught is integral a to b w of x dx whole power minus half, isn't it? So, equals to minus integral a to b x into integral a to b w of x dx whole power minus 1 by 2 into w of x dx. This is equal to integral a to b x w of x dx divided by integral a to b w of x dx whole power 1 by 2. Okay. And define now our phi 1 of x. Phi 1 of x is equal to psi 1 of x divided by norm psi 1, second norm. Okay. And we see that and note that phi 1 comma phi 1 equals to 1 and phi 1 comma phi naught is equal to 0. This is what we need, that is phi n comma phi m when n is not equal to m is becoming 0 and phi n comma phi n is becoming 1. So, like that we will construct phi n of x, okay, to construct in general. To construct phi n of x, define psi n of x is equal to x power n plus a n comma n minus 1 into phi n minus 1 of x plus etcetera plus a n comma 0 phi naught of x. Okay. And observe that the constants to make psi n orthogonal to phi j for j is equal to 0, 1, 2 etc. up to n minus 1. Okay. And we will also have psi n comma phi j equals to 0 implies that a n comma j is equal to minus x power n comma phi j. Okay. And the decide phi n of x will be accordingly j is from 0, 1, 2 etc. up to n minus 1, and we will have phi n of x is equal to psi n of x divided by norm psi n. Okay. So, likewise we have constructed phi naught, phi 1, phi 2 etc. up to phi n. Okay. These polynomials are orthogonal. Orthogonal in the sense phi naught comma phi 1 is becoming 0, and if you take the inner product with itself, it is becoming 1. So, this type of converting the polynomials to orthogonal polynomials is called Gram-Smith orthogonalization process. From as a corollary of Gram-Smith orthogonalization process, we will be obtaining various polynomials like it is a famous legendary polynomials and Chebyshev polynomials and Laguerre polynomials. Among these three polynomials, Chebyshev polynomials makes is extremely important in approximation theory, and they also arise in many other areas of applied mathematics. Let us see how the Chebyshev polynomials arise out from Gram-Smith orthogonalization process. So, we have to take the w of x. W of x here, let w of x is equal to 1 divided by root of 1 minus x square for minus 1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 1. Then our Tn of x is equal to cos of n cos inverse of x. N is greater or equal to 0. This is an orthogonal family of polynomials with degree of Tn is equal to n. Degree of Tn is equal to n. And to see that Tn of x is a polynomial, verify Tn of x is a polynomial, consider cos inverse of x is equal to theta. Then Tn of x becomes cos of n theta, isn't it? And then Tn plus 1 or n minus 1 of x is nothing but cos of n plus or minus 1 of theta, isn't it? And cos n plus or minus 1 theta according to the cos a plus b formula or cos a minus b formula, this is cos a cos b plus sin a sin b or cos a cos b minus sin a sin b respectively. So, we will have cos n theta cos theta minus, for cos of n plus 1 theta it is cos n theta cos theta minus sin n theta sin theta, and cos n minus 1 theta will have cos n theta cos theta plus sin n theta sin theta. Okay. So, that we will have T n plus 1 of x plus T n minus 1 of x is equal to 2 times cos n theta cos theta, and this is equal to 2 n of 2 into cos n theta is T n of x and cos theta is x from equations 1 and 2. Okay. And so that it becomes we will have an equation in terms of T n plus 1 and t. So, T n plus 1 of x is equal to 2x T n of x minus T n minus 1 of x, where n is greater or equal to 1. And by direct application, first we will find out T naught of x. T naught of x is cos of n cos inverse of n is 0, no, cos inverse of x is equal to 1, and T1 of x is this is from Tn of x, and Tn of x is cos of n cos inverse of x. T1 of x is cos of cos inverse of x, which is just equal to x. Okay, and from this we can find out T2 of x from equation 3. Put n is equal to 1 in equation 3. N is equal to 1 when you put 2x T1 of x minus T0 of x. Now substitute for T1 of x and T0 of x from equations 4 and 5, we get 2x into x minus 1. So 2x square minus 1 is T2 of x. Then when you put n is equal to 2 in equation 3, we get T3 of x is equal to 4x cube minus 3x. So the polynomials satisfy Tn of 1 is equal to 1, and Tn comma Tm, inner product Tn comma Tm is equal to 0 if n is not equal to m, and equals to pi if m is equal to n is equal to 0, and equals to pi by 2 if n is equal to m is greater than 0. Okay. So we have derived the Chebyshev polynomials from Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization process. In this session, we discussed about linear weighted least square approximation, and then we have discussed about orthogonal polynomials. Also, a process was discussed, that is Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization process, that is the polynomials will be made orthogonal through Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization process. Using Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization process, special polynomials like Legendre polynomials, Chebyshev polynomials and Laguerre polynomials can be derived, and in particular Chebyshev polynomials were derived using Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization process. Based on the discussion in this session, the following questions may be posed. Explain the procedure of linear weighted least square approximation, and what is meant by orthogonal polynomials. Explain Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization process and derive Chebyshev polynomials. Thank you.